Nope. I'm kind of excited about the small project alert, which will be the necklace for the back of this dress. So let's do that now. Small project alert. Small project alert. So you want to get your measurements. So grab out your trusty measuring tape, and you just want to go from one side of the opening in the back to the other side in the opening in the back, kind of creating a droop with the piece of measuring tape, just so you get the number that you want. Make sure that you write that down so you don't forget, and leave maybe in ½ inch seam allowance on each side so you have enough space to sew it into the garment, because you're going to be sewing in one side and then you're going to be sewing in a snap or a hook to the other side. So the first thing you want to do is put some painter's tape down, because that's what the stones are going to stick to. And I'm doing a T pattern, so I need something to dangle like that. Let me show you the design. So we're going 12 inches left and right, so 6 and 6, and then 3 inches down. This is the design I came up with, and let's start placing it on the glue. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is put your design configuration on the tape face down. So this one is for the middle. All right, so this really is a master class on how we create our ballroom jewelry here. I have these 2 black ones tilted up, so I remember which ones are the black ones in the glue down process, even though you can see that the backs of them have more of a crystallized silver gray tone than the other ones do, but just for my own remembrance, I do it like that. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now let's put some glue down, and I'll show you how I add thread. Okay, so I'm using button thread here, and I'm gonna cut a piece of button thread the length of the tape, so that's 20 inches all the way across, just to make sure I have enough hang time from here to sew it onto the gown. And then I'm gonna do maybe a 5 or 6 inch another thread, wrap it around, we'll cross it around for the length of the dangle All right, so I'm gonna start the glue down process. I got my pieces of thread nice and cut out. Where's the other one? Okay, and the shorter one here for the dangle. And I'm gonna start gluing my stones to the thread, and I'll show you when I get to the connection where I'm connecting the actual chain to the dangle. And I'll show you when I'm connecting the actual chain to the dangle. Okay, so you want to find the center of your button thread and just give it a quick mark with a marker so you know exactly where it's at. And you want to start by stoning this piece here. That one. Let's do the big ones first. Right. This to the center. So you want to put the dot in the center of your intersection stone. Okay, so I got that in the center of the stone on the left, and it's already in the center of the stone on the right. Now we'll go down the line and add the other side of the stones to those two, this way and that way, and then we'll tackle the center dangle last. Alright, this side is done. Oh my gosh, my hands are so ashy. That's because I washed them 3-4 times today and don't use my lotion. I have this goat milk from Kate Somerville. Mind you, I'm a whole vegan over here using goat milk lotion. But anyway, this is how I created this beautiful necklace. So it's very simple, yet very elegant. It's gonna be very impactful on the gown here on the back. When we go into the drawing, it absolutely looks nothing like this but more like this. But this was the concept drawing. She has this same exact dress, but she wanted it to be in red and black instead of gold and black. And this was the idea, but she leaned more toward exactly what she has. So that's what I gave her as far as the dress goes. But this is small project alert, so let me get back to that. So as far as this connection here, I'll show you what I'm going to do, and then we can do it. Okay, so again, you want to find your center point of your dangle charm. Mark that off. You want to make sure that the mark off hits this mark off. So we're going to thread one of these strings under. Just like that. I don't know if you can see that, but it's under. You know what? Let me flip the camera so you can see it. So I put my 2 pins in just to make sure that the pair stays on top of where the pair is supposed to be. And because I use 2 button thread on the dangles, I'm going to go in with my needle nose pliers and just kind of squeeze them together just to make sure that they look as one, even though they're 2. Close those together. Sit this back up nice and neat, and then we will let this dry, and the small project is pretty much done. It's a gorgeous necklace. Oh my gosh, all of these slid over here. No. My wrist must have touched it. I hate that. But if I got it fast enough, I'll be able to save it and not have to redo this whole piece. Okay, I think I got it good enough. All right, so I will let this dry overnight, and we will work on the installation in the morning. And good morning. So I already peeled it off of the plastic, or off of the tape. It is done. Now let's pin it to the dress. Alright, so that is what it's gonna look like. Everything. Oh no, let me pull this up. Or move the pin up. I'll do that. But for the most part, that's where it's gonna go. It's gonna hang in the center. You see why I did these 2 coffin shapes like that. And it's gonna be gorgeous. Now let's put it in. Oh, small project alert. I gotta sew it in, and this will be done. Let's see from afar. Can you see the red? Yeah, it just looks like the red is bleeding down into the black. I love it. Super cute. So let's get into that. You know what? Before I attach this necklace, I think I'm gonna jump into doing these floats. So I have 3 different straps that I need to stone on 2 different floats. It's gorgeous. It's the same ombre as the dress, where it ombres from red to black, and the dress ombres from black to red. So let's stone it. So this is the sample. So on the wrist, I chose to frame it with these jet rectangles just to give it a little extra pop, because that's the first thing you see on the wrist, and I think it came out gorgeous. All right, so I did the middle bar a little different. So this one is framed in that black stone. This one is just framed in size 30 ABs, and well, not ABs, but size 30 light cyan. I think it still gives the same amount of impact. So now we're gonna do the top one, and the top one will be something similar to this. I just wanted to accent the wrist with this one like that. I'll come back when the top one is done, and then on the other float, I'll take you step by step on how I achieved each layer. Alright, so for this part of the small project alert, I've laid out the configuration of the specialty stones that I plan on putting on the second float band. Let me show you the other one, and then I'll show you the configuration. Alright, so I have it just hanging off of my light to dry. That's the first one. This is the second one. And this is how the larger one came out. So this is the configuration that I'm doing on each one of those bands. It's exactly the same as this one, except the shorter one, which is the top one. I don't have it framed in these stones here, and the other two framed in the 30s. I wasn't about to do all of that, but you can see, there it is, you can see it there. And I plan to just mimic the same exact thing onto the bands. So what I did first was find the center point where the float actually meets the center of the other side, and I drew a line with some invisible ink marker so I know where the center point is, which is this one here, and then this black rectangle for the larger one. Alright, so let's get to starting. We'll start with the small one first. I'm gonna speed this part of the process up, but I want you to do it very slow, because you don't want any of your stones sliding, especially if you're working with specialty stones. They tend to have a weight to it that you forget to factor in because you're so used to using just the regular size flatbacks from size 12s to size 40. So even 48 in some instances can have a little bit of weight to it. So you want to not move as fast as I am in this video. Again, it is sped up. I think it's sped up 6 times. So you just want to go slow and steady, just to make sure none of your pieces slide around and everything stays in its proper placement. And it will, and it'll look gorgeous, and you'll get to see the end result in just a minute. Okay, so the first strap is done. On to the second strap, which would be this row here. Okay, so as far as the invisible ink line, you can just wait the 72 hours and let it disappear on its own, or you can grab a Q-tip, put some water on it, and just kind of dab, and it'll slowly disappear. And that'll be gone. So let's move on to this one. we're just going to jump right into the third band, which would be the band that goes around the bicep. And you actually get a rare view at me messing up. And I overestimated the size of the glue dot that I needed right into this cross looking area, and I have to acetone it off. Sometimes you make mistakes, and I used my pliers here to try and spin the specialty stone around. It just didn't work, so I had to go ahead and just acetone that whole entire area off, let it dry, and go back at it again. Luckily, this is a great fabric. I believe it's crepe, and the acetone doesn't eat the fabric away. But we do have a polyester that is not acetone friendly, and I definitely learned it the hard way. But that was years ago, so you'll never probably see that video. I don't even think I remember on what platform I recorded it on. But I finished the centerpiece, and now we're just gonna go into this frame. I believe that is a size 30 in light cyan, and we're just gonna frame it out. So while editing this part of the strap, this bicep strap, I realized that it actually took 25 minutes, sped up to 2 minutes. Okay, so now that I have my straps all nice and stoned, we're going to move on to attaching this pendant here, this back chain for the small project alert. And I got some tools here, and I want to show you what I'm using. So I have this jump ring, this lobster claw. Let me put a pin next to the lobster claw so you can see the dimension and how big it is. And we use the bigger ones like this in gold and silver because, you know, the dance sport ladies have their nails on, and no one can connect a tiny lobster claw. Now, we do have the tiny ones, but I'm choosing to use the bigger ones just to make it a little easier when trying it on. So here's a sample of the loop that you need to make on the underside of your strap. So I tied the knot just like that and glued it down so it doesn't move. Once I found the perfect placement for this jump string on the other side, I just looped it over 1,000 times. So the way that I attached the lobster claw to the other side is simple. I just looped it around the hole 1,000 times and then tied it off and put a glue dot on it. It is finally done. Let me show you this chain. It's gorgeous. So I ended up going back in and framing these coffin pieces. Let me let you get into it. And you can see, so you see how I put 4 at the bottom, 4 at the top, 2 on the side of the thread. That was to give it some weight. So I did just a simple knot to keep this side in, threw some glue on it. There we go, to make sure it's secure. I ended up moving the O loop on this one here. Remember, it was hanging off the edge. It just didn't give me the symmetry in the center as I needed. So I moved it 2-3 times actually, and I finally got it. So what I did was push it back like this. So the claw can kind of go under the strap and not so much show. Hopefully it's not too uncomfortable for her, but that is how it's sitting, and it's lovely. It is lovely. I got all of the straps done for the flow, so hopefully you enjoyed that part. I love the way this one with the jet rectangles is just around the wrist, and these two go up by the elbow, one on the arm. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Got both of those done, and now thank you so much for watching this episode of Small Project Alert. I hope you learned something new and you're trying it my way. And if you would like for me to try it your way, feel free to leave it in the your way in the comments or in an email so I can try it your way and make a video and show me you trying it my way. Like the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. What you waiting for? Come on. And share. Can I get us some shares? I was looking at the analytics. Can I get some shares? I know there's beautiful women in this ballroom industry that are actually learning from what I'm doing. And even if you're not in ballroom and you just work with crystals, I know you can get some value from the things that I show you. And if you want to send a cash app, it's TST Tiffany. The link is in the description. Any way you want to support, I'm willing to accept your support. I see that my numbers are growing. I think I'm at about 285 right now, and I thank all of you for watching and subscribing, and it just makes me so happy to see that people actually like what I'm doing. So this one is done. Thank you for watching Small Project Alert. See you in the next one.